Director Ryan Coogler gives insight to his vision of Namor. 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 Paulie back here on the Latino Slant, your leading source of Latino entertainment. And there is no more, there is nothing more leading, nothing more big than the Latino actor, the Mexican actor, Tenoch Huerta, literally overnight becoming a household name as Namor. And we haven't even seen the film. What I do know is Tenoch is an incredible actor. And two, probably more importantly, he's captured the hearts of a lot of people. I'm seeing just all over the place. And in this video, I want to thank Imperious. I want to thank Aztec Empire. I want to thank Imperious Rex. I want to thank Namor News and welcome to Clutch for helping me gather some of this information because people want it. People are just getting rabid about Tenoch and Namor and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So here's what I want to do. I want to break down this video that director Ryan Coogler gave, and then the VP from Marvel gave some insight to Namor. Now, um, what I wanted, so I want to do that. Now, before I begin, though, I want to say that I theorized months and months ago on the video, and you can check it out on our playlist, that why would Coogler take on Namor as being a Mesoamerican, as being a quote unquote Aztec Mayan, you know, from from here and not his original origin. And I theorized, well, Coogler's from California. Coogler is, from Oaktown, and it's Latinos and blacks and Asians and whites. So if he is the kind of the cultural nerd that I think he is, and I say that with all due respect, then he's going to take in everything and in his upbringing and put it into his films, which he's had in Fruitvale Station, which he's had in Creed, and now he's done it here. So in watching this video, kind of validated in the sense I'm like, yes, that's where he got it from. And it's interesting to see that. So let's get right to this video. This interview is from Black Tree TV, and they ask him, "Did you do this on purpose, making him a Mesoamerican Aztec Mayan anti-hero?" Here we go.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm from California, from Northern California. You
Hmm.
know, so my state got a Spanish name. Um, our streets got Spanish names. Indigenous people, um, people of Mesoamerican descent. They like my family where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Like we friends on the street, and,
Mm.
and and also like I literally got cousins and uncles and nieces and nephews that
All right, that's great. So Ryan basically saying I grew up around Latinos. I grew up around people from that indigenous culture, that Mesoamerican Americas culture, and whether they're from the streets, on the streets, or they're my people, and they've married into my family, or I've married into their family, which is an American experience. That's just what's been going on, and that's great. That's great. I'm so happy to kind of just hear his kind of his world, and where he comes from, and now I want to see how he puts it into this film. Okay, let's continue.
that are of that descent. Um, and our cultures, though they developed, you know, uh, with some physical distance from each other, which is even that's debatable. You know what I'm saying? But so many similarities. Like to what happened to on the continent of Africa, what ended up happening to the Americas or quote unquote New World.
Hmm.
Um, and it was like really it was really intense. Like it'd be times where because it's 7 languages spoken in this movie. Like
Wow. Okay, so he's talking about the history of New World versus Old World, and Old World coming into Africa, Old World coming into the Americas. That there's similarities. So there's similarities between. Let's break it down. And I said this before, between black and brown. That's just it. That's just it. He's making this a black and brown thing. Now, whether it can work, we won't know until we see the film. But judging from his track record, I trust Coogler to deliver something uh, on this level. It's got to be spectacular, and this is not an easy undertaking he's doing. There's some deep wounds sometimes between black and brown. That's you know that flares up, but most of the time we're married into each other's families. Now, he said something that we have not heard of yet. 7 languages are spoken. 7 languages are spoken. And in this film, and so what I'm hoping is that the iteration of Namor is going to speak that Yucatan Mayan, Spanish, and English. That's what I'm hoping to see since they're going down this route. Okay, let's hear a little bit more from Coogler.
I feel like I haven't had a chance to even talk about that. But obviously we speak in Yucatec Mayan and also, which if you look at a map, man, it's pretty,
Mm,
but they even have words that sound similar.
mhm.
Like if you listen to those languages, like if you really study them, it's like similar sounds, and it'd be times where like words would be stated and it'll sound the same. So it's a lot of ways that the cultures rhyme.
That's great. That's great. So, I'm loving what I'm hearing, and like I said, Coogler in his world vision, he's 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 a cultural nerd, and he took 2 years to write the script. Had to rewrite it again, of course, because of Chadwick Boseman's passing. But it really sounds like he did his research, and I love what I'm hearing now. Like I said, whether that shows up on screen, we shall see. But he's on point also too with languages. Languages sounding the same, particular words, and one could say, I mean, that really is when we're talking about Mexican Spanish, right? It's such a it has become now so influenced by the indigenous people of Mexico that there's a lot of words in our Spanish language that are indigenous. And I have done fun videos on this as far as Nahuatl, these Nahuatl words like chocolate, like chocolate, that's Nahuatl, and how it's just permeated into English and Spanish. And I love that. So now, in talking about names and languages and words, I want to go to this other video from Phase Zero. Where's excuse me, Marvel VP Nate Moore, Wakanda Forever. And here they ask him about the pronunciation of Neymar, like what's going on. And we get further insight into just, again, kind of their vision of what they're taking Neymar as in this film. All right, so let's check out Nate Moore and hear what he's got to say.
Yes, that Namor, I would say he obviously was given that name also by someone in the film,
Sure.
so it's not even something that is from him. But there's certainly a way that a Spanish speaker or even a Mayan speaker would say Namor versus a way that an English speaker or somebody who's a little bit more Western and slant might say Namor. And we thought that was just interesting. I mean, it's a reality that
So there's a lot there. Listen, we kind of poked fun at this a little bit with some of our videos as far as Namor, and even what Victoria Alonso saying on the red carpet about he grew up with no love, Namor. Yeah, And even early on, we were like, well, what if they start calling him not Namor or Namor, but Ramon, which is Namor backwards. Namor, the Submariner. Uh, so what this what they're pinpointing at here is that Namor, Namor, however you want to pronounce it, is a name that the outsiders are calling the Submariner. No one, not his own people. They're calling him Namor, the Submariner. His own people call him Kukulkan, right? That is that Mayan name. So that's interesting. That's interesting because it in this world that they've created, it makes sense that this outside world, who is this mysterious mutant superhero guy, you know, that's, we're giving him that name, and whether it's a Spanish name or, in this world, I don't know, but I'm interested in finding out. Finally, because of all these changes, it's good to go back to kind of some of the roots and origins of Namor as a comic book here, and saying like, well, what is connected? Like, we know he's a mutant, and Scourge of the Seven Seas. Also, too, what I found fascinating was that he's half human, half Atlantean, and here half Talocan, Mesoamerican, and half human. Is how in the comic book, the mother, when he gives birth, comes to his defense as being, quote unquote, a half breed, right? Half Atlantean, half human. And they're taking that to this now next step of being half indigenous and half um, Talocan. So I'm really fascinated. I am very cautious and a little slightly scared of how this is all going to be shown on the screen at the end of the day. Because listen, at the end of the day, all these well intentions can blow up in the creators' faces, and it can come off as being a real bad stereotype. But we shall see. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know. And we have a huge Wakanda Namor de Noche playlist. Please check that out. And I'll see you soon here on the Latino Slant, wherever you're at. Keep that slant. Where